beauties? It's your girl Bree and we're gonna do a get ready with me in this video. So it's going to be a voiceover unless you guys want to hear the soundtrack to my life, which is pretty much songs from 2005. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I show you guys my outfit. I show you guys how I slayed these edges, honey. These edges are slayed. And I showed you guys my makeup and some other things that I do to my body. Really, it's like the most extra makeup tutorial because since I'm gonna be going out, I'm doing girls night tonight with my bestie, and we're gonna be going out for a long time, so I do like extra things to make sure my makeup stays on longer, and I kind of show you guys those things. So if you like this very simple look, but I do love the lips though, which I have on Jeffree Star Cosmetics Sagittarius and Mannequin in the center, and Sagittarius, no, Androgyny, I'm sorry, Androgyny around, and then I put some Sagittarius in the middle, and then I put Mannequin in the very middle, so I have like a slight gradient of an ombre. So, and I love this little nose ring. I like to wear it when I go out because I feel fancy. So I hope you guys are having a good Saturday night. I hope my Saturday night is going to be as amazing as my day has been, and I will see you guys later. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you guys for watching. Now let's get into the tutorial. Hey you guys, it's your girl Bree. This is my face with no makeup on, and just so you guys know, I get ready in like an old shirt and I put all my piercings in. To moisturize my face, I use the Clean and Clear. It's like a 3-in-1 step, and then I use the Tarte Maracuja oil, which is my favorite oil. I just bought their holiday kit so I can get the little oil again because I'm not paying like $50 for a big old bottle. And I use my Real Techniques like full body sponge, and I use my Equal Tool sponge. So first I prime my eyes with the Tarte Shape Tape because it is super pigmented and it just blanks out my eyes. And then I'm going to blend it out with the Equal Tools sponge because it is smaller than the other sponge. And I just set that, of course, with my Ben Nye powder. Nothing new there. And I'm setting that down with a BH Cosmetic Rose Gold brush. If you guys see me spontaneously busting out in like dance or my lips moving, I am listening to Pandora and they get all the hits. So I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution palette. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. And I use like a couple colors from Jeffree Star's Beauty Killer palette. First, I'm going to go in with Courtney from the Beauty Killer palette, and I'm going to be using this on my Morphe 535 brush, which is like a really fluffy blending brush, and this is going to be the first transition shade that I'm going to be putting down. I like to use this brush because it really disperses the product sort of like in an airbrush way, and I don't have to be super precise with it. Next, I'm mixing these two brownie shades because one is like really warm toned and one is sort of neutral. And I'm going to be using my BH Cosmetics 101 brush. This is my favorite blending brush. I have had this brush forever, washed it multiple times. It's still soft. It still blends everything seamlessly. And I'm going to be doing a whole separate video on BH Cosmetics. I'm just waiting for some more things to come in the mail, especially their brushes. If you guys want inexpensive, good quality, cruelty-free synthetic brushes, you need to check out BH Cosmetics. They always have sales on their brushes, and they're just the best. Now I'm going to add some warmth with that burgundy shade and that brown shade, and I'm going to be using my Morphe 433 brush. It's like a flatter, it's like a flatter blending brush. It's sort of oval shaped, which really allows me to get really precise in my crease. And I'm also going to be putting this a little bit on my outer V as well, which also gives your eye a great opened up effect when you add more depth in the outer corner. So I'm going to be taking those two shades just back and forth, and with this palette you sort of have to build the pigmentation. It is a drugstore palette, so just keep that in mind. Which I do not mind at all. And then I'm using the same brush, and I'm just going to be taking that black shade and I'm putting that on my outer corners. I mean the outer V, and then I'm going to slowly drag that into my crease. But what I found with this black is that it's not super pigmented. It's not as pigmented as I was going for. So I took a little bit of Black Rainbow from the Beauty Killer palette and put that on the outer V as well. And then I'm using the white in that palette, which also wasn't that pigmented, so I also mixed it with China White from the Beauty Killer palette. And I just took that, on a flat BH Cosmetics sort of shader brush, if you will, and you can see the pigmentation is just absolutely crazy, which is mostly due to the China White in the Beauty Killer palette. But I'm just going to put that on my lids because I'm just going to do a super winged out look, so I don't really need a super statement color on my lid at the moment. Just so you guys know, this is the routine that I use when I want my makeup to stay on for a long period of time. So you're going to be seeing me do a lot of extra things and cream contouring and things like that throughout this video because I'm going to be going out, I'm going to be traveling, I'm going to be drinking, I'm going to be with my friends, and I don't want my makeup to be melting off my face. So the first step I'm going to be taking is spraying my face with the all-nighter spray first. And I just like to do this because I feel like it just can sink into my skin and it can sort of act like a sandwich. I'm going to be using the Professionals by Benefit, and I'm also going to be using the Smashbox Photo Finish or Photo Ready primer. But before I do that, I'm going to be sanitizing my hands, and I'm also going to be exfoliating my lips because exfoliating your lips really helps with your lipstick lasting longer. You won't have skin trying to come off or dry patches or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and do that right after I clean up my under eyes. And in order to exfoliate my lips, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. lip exfoliator. It comes like in a lipstick form. I really like this one. I bounce between this one and my Jeffree Star one. If I don't want to get my nails dirty or if I'm in a rush, then I'll go ahead and use the lipstick form because it sort of exfoliates itself and I don't have to use my fingers for that. So now I'm taking the Professionals and I'm going to be focusing that in my T-zone. That's where my pores are the largest. I kind of just rub it in and then I kind of tap it out to help my skin absorb it. And then I'm going to take the Smashbox primer and I'm going to use that on the rest of my face. So I'm going to be using 3 foundations for this look. First, I'm going to be using these 2 Wet n Wild foundations because one is too light, like super too light, and one is way too dark. So I'm going to mix those 2 together, and I'm going to get a lighter shade than the third foundation, which is this Revlon 24-hour foundation. Reason why I like to do this because the 24-hour foundation stays on for a long period of time. I don't know if it's 24 hours, but it definitely stays on for longer than most. But sometimes it can get too cakey, and it is a little bit too dark for me, even though you can't really tell in this clip, but it is a little bit too dark for me in real life. So I like to sort of break it down or cream it up or whatever you want to call it with these other foundations that are super watery. The Wet n Wild foundations really can be mixed with really anything. You can use them to mix in with stick foundations that can be a little bit drying for you, a little bit cakey for you. You can use them on themselves for like a medium coverage, but I wanted a fuller coverage, which is why I didn't use them just on their own. And when I go out, I like to mix this all the way down to my neck because I do have hyperpigmentation on my neck area. And when I'm going out to the clubs and stuff, I just want to look my best. Now I'm taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and I'm going to put that, you know, wherever I want to. I like to save my under eyes and my nose for last because I like to spend specific attention on these areas first. I find that if I put all the concealer in all the areas that I want to and then I blend it out, I save my eyes for last, and or whatever area I save for last sort of gets harder to blend out because the Tarte Shape Tape is sort of thick and dries a little bit fast. So I like to do those areas first, focus on those areas, and then I go to my under eyes. Also, when I'm going out, I like to use my Too Faced lip injections because I want my lips to look really, really plump and full. And I'm going to be slightly overlining my lips today, so I also use that and slightly overline my lips with that. I find that when you slightly overline your lips with a lip plumper and then you overline your lips with your lipstick or what have you, it's really a little bit harder to find that line of demarcation. I know sometimes when people overline their lips, you can clearly see where their real lip ends and where they overline at, but when I do this, you can't. So I mix a lighter concealer also with my under eyes because I just want a lighter coverage. The Tarte concealer I have isn't as bright as I want it to be. I got like a shade too dark. So I just add a little bit of Rimmel concealer, which is a little bit of a lighter shade, to my under eyes. And I'm going to be setting my under eyes. I like to set one at a time. So I'm going to be setting my under eyes with the Kat Von D Shade Light Face Palette. I'm going to be using my e.l.f. highlighting brush for this, and I like to mix the first two shades together. So here's an extra step I do when I'm going out. I like to cream contour or cream bronze. This shade isn't dark enough to contour with. This is an LA Girl Pro Concealer, and it's just a couple shades darker than me. And I'm going to be putting that like around my forehead, in the hollows of my cheeks, on my nose, under my chin, like anywhere I would normally bronze or contour with.
I know that a life without love is no life at all.
And now I'm going to be setting my whole face with the Coty Airspun, and this is the powder that's full coverage. It's the full coverage powder. And I'm going to be putting that basically all over my face. And you guys, you have to buy this. Honestly, this is so good. e.l.f. is so good. I'm going to also do a video on e.l.f. I'm using the e.l.f. bronzer palette, and I use those two shades I showed you guys. It looks light in the pan. When I first saw it, when it first came in the mail, I was like, oh, this is going to be too light for me. But you can see what it does when I put it on skin. And by the way, this is just a Morphe, regular Morphe like blending brush. It came in a kit or whatever. But look at that. Do you see how flawless that is? It's not too warm toned, it's not too cool toned. It's the perfect shades when I mix those two together. And sometimes I'll even mix the darker one and I'll contour with it, or I'll just add a little bit more dimension. I love this thing. These e.l.f. palettes, their blush palettes, their bronzer palettes are honestly the best. And I'm taking that Kat Von D powder, excuse me, that I just showed you guys randomly, and I'm going to be putting that underneath that bronzer to sort of clean it up. I don't think I really contour. I think that when you clean up the bronzer, it sort of gives you a contoured look. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so I just did my eyebrows off camera, and I've been using that brown shade in the Beauty Killer palette called Vanity to do my eyebrows lately. And I just did a wing using the e.l.f. eyeliner, and now we're going to go back to face. I'm using this BH Cosmetic Nude Blush Palette, another great palette that you guys have to get. And I'm mixing those two shades. One's a more peachier shade, and one's like a darker version. And I'm going to be putting that on my cheeks. That peachier shade gives you a little bit of a sheen. It's not too much, but it's a nice, like, healthy glow, and I really, really like that. And I'm using a BH Cosmetic brush for this. I like to use cream eyeliners for my waterline, so I'm gonna go in with this black one from NYX. And again, I'm just using a BH Cosmetic brush. If you guys know any other affordable brush brands besides Morphe, BH, or Wet n Wild, please let me know because I'm sort of tired of the redundancy, and I want to find new brushes. And now I'm going to take this black shade from the Makeup Revolution palette, and I'm going to smudge out my eyeliner with that using a small Morphe brush. And then I'm going to blend it out with a, I think it's a brush from, I think I want to say it's a brush from BH Cosmetics. It's like a smudger brush also. But I'm just going to smoke that out with that brown that I showed you guys. So now I'm just setting all those powder products down with the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray again, and now we're going to go into highlight. This is Flexitarian by ColourPop. It is a like creamy highlight. I'm going to be putting that on my high planes, and then I'm going to be setting that with the LA Girl highlighter in Watt, which is another thing that you guys need to get. It has like a golden undertone, but it's not like too gold. And again, I'm just setting it down because I want my highlighter to last all night. And I find that with these cheaper drugstore type of brands, the highlighters disappear after a couple hours. I don't have that issue with my Jeffree Star highlighters, but I do with the drugstore ones. And I'm going to be using a Morphe M531 brush to apply that highlight. And then once I get done putting that highlight on my cheekbones, I'm going to be going into the Makeup Revolution palette, and I'm going to be taking 2 of those shades with that same brush, and I'm going to be putting that on my forehead. Lately, I've been loving this highlighted forehead look. I don't like to put it right in the middle of my forehead because I feel like that makes you look greasy. I sort of put it in 2 places right above my brow. Right where my brow starts, and then in the arch of my brow. And then it gives you a glowy face look without you looking oily. And I use darker highlighters for that because I don't want it to be super popping. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be super popped, but I do want to have a nice little glow. So my camera cut out, but I did do my lips and put my eyelashes on off camera. So for my lips, I have Jeffree Star Sagittarius on the outside, and then I have Mannequin in the center. And now I'm gonna be taking this like glow. This is from Hard Candy, and it's like a liquid highlighter bronzy situation. And I'm gonna be putting that on my chest and on my shoulders for just like a darker bronzed up glowy situation. And this is another extra step that I take because I'm gonna be in the club. I want to be, you know, highlighted, and I want to be looking good. So I went ahead and got dressed, which I will show you guys my outfit at the end of this video. But I like to get dressed before I do my hair. And all I'm doing for my hair today is really just putting my edges down and then doing a side part. I have finally listened to everybody and went and got that gorilla snot. Oh my gosh, my edges have never been so slayed in their life. I mean, this stuff stays on all day, all night. It could rain, you could sweat, it still stays on. The issue I have with all of these edge controls is that it waves up my edges. Like, I'll straighten them out and then it just makes my edges wavy. I do not have that issue with this, and I like to lay it down with a toothbrush. Lately though, what I've been doing since this video is doing my edges before I do my makeup, because I don't know if you guys can see, but it sort of took my makeup off and then it sort of made the gel this like lighter consistency, and I feel like it made my edges a little bit lighter. So lately I've been doing my edges first and then sort of putting bronzer sort of on it or around it, and it still works out pretty fine. You can't really tell or anything like that. So I'm just laying my edges down, and then you'll see me go ahead and put my hair in a side part. I have a video, it's going to be coming up after this one, of what I put in my hair, like the gems and the decorations and stuff like that, and how I style it, in case you guys are interested. That will be up after this video. Hey y'all, it's your girl Beauties. So I just filmed to get ready with me, and I wanted to show you guys my finished look. So here it is. Here's my outfit that you can't see at all because, you know, but I just have a little, this, oh, the thing just came off. Things are happening. Okay, so I just have this little corset belt that I showed you guys in my Forever 21 haul. I have this boohoo dress on. The tie like broke in the dryer that I had on here, so this is like a faux leather tie that I just got off something else. And my shoes that you guys can't see, maybe I could take the camera off, please, you guys. I don't want to hear anything about how my room's a mess, but there are my beautiful shoes. They have comics on them. Comics. And I have my fishnet tights that I showed you guys in boohoo. And since you know I'm a thick girl, I have on biker shorts. And that's pretty much my outfit. You guys are handheld, so you might be like all over the place, but whatever. So yeah, it's dark now. I started when it was light outside, and now it's dark. So if you guys see a lighting change, that's what happened. And this is pretty much the look I had. Sort of, I tweaked it a little bit. Dang it, I keep doing that. I tweaked it a little bit. The look I had, I don't know if you guys are going to see this video first or the other video first, where I was styling this hair and like decorating it, and I showed you guys how I did it and where I got the stuff from. But yeah, and I just put on some little studs that I showed you guys in my Shop Miss A haul, and this nose ring, and this is my finished look. So yeah, bye.